You're at a party. Music thumps, people are laughing, glasses clink. From the outside, you're part of it. You're smiling, nodding, maybe even telling a story. But inside, there's a strange, hollow feeling. It's like you're watching yourself from across the room, a ghost at your own feast. You look at the sea of faces, acquaintances, and friendly strangers, and a thought lands with a quiet, heavy thud. You've never felt more alone. For years, you've collected contacts, filled your weekends, and answered every text. You thought the cure for loneliness was more. More friends, more events, more noise. You built a fortress of social activity to keep the silence out, but somehow the silence got in anyway. It lives in the pauses between conversations, in the polite goodbyes, in the drive home where the radio can't quite fill the space. You've done everything right, according to the rule book of being social. So why does it feel so wrong? The feeling gnaws at you, this paradox of being crowded yet isolated. You scroll through your phone, a gallery of smiling faces and tagged photos, proof of a full life. But it feels like evidence of a crime you can't name. Then, one Tuesday, something shifts. It's not a grand event, just a coffee with a colleague, someone you've only ever shared deadlines and small talk with. You're both tired. The usual conversational script feels too heavy to lift. So you don't. You just sit there in the quiet hum of the cafe. And then they speak. Not about work. Not about the weather. They talk about a book they're struggling to finish. About the weird feeling of visiting their childhood home. About a small, silly fear they've never told anyone. They don't look at you for a solution or for a witty reply. They just share a piece of themselves, unpolished and real. In that moment, you don't feel the pressure to perform. You don't need to be the funny one, the smart one, the interesting one. You just need to be there. And you listen, really listen. You share something back, something small and equally unpolished. A story about your own forgotten hobby. A quiet admission of feeling adrift lately. The conversation isn't dazzling. It's simple. It's human. And as you walk away from that coffee shop, the hollow feeling isn't there. It's been replaced by something warm, something solid. It's a quiet revelation. It was never about the number of people. It was about the depth of the space between you. You start to see it everywhere. You remember all the times you've performed connection. The big group dinners where you felt like an audience member. The parties where you floated from circle to circle. A social butterfly with nowhere to land. You were so focused on being liked, on being included, that you forgot to be known. You presented a version of yourself that was easy to digest, a highlight reel. You thought vulnerability was a weakness, a risk not worth taking. So you kept your fears, your doubts, your strange and wonderful thoughts locked away. You offered people a curated, perfect image, and they connected with that image. But the real you, the one behind the curtain, remained unseen. And that's where the loneliness was born. Not in the absence of people, but in the absence of yourself in your own relationships. You were surrounded by people who knew of you, but very few who truly knew you. You built a life that looked connected from the outside, but you were the only one living on the inside, and the door was locked. The constant effort of maintaining that facade was exhausting. It was a full-time job with no pay, only a lingering sense of emptiness. Now, you see the other side. That one coffee was a key. It unlocked a new perspective. Connection isn't a numbers game. It's an art form. It's about the courage to be imperfect. It's the quiet trust of sharing a silence without needing to fill it. It's the relief of saying, I don't know, or I'm scared, and seeing not judgment, but understanding in someone's eyes. You start to experiment. You let a conversation drift into an awkward pause, and instead of panicking, you just breathe. You share a half-formed thought with a friend, preface it with, this might sound weird, but ... You ask questions that go beyond, "How was your weekend?" You ask, "What's been on your mind lately?" Some people don't know how to respond. The connection doesn't spark, and that's okay. You realize you don't need to connect with everyone, but with others, something magical happens. They lean in. They share something real back. A tiny bridge is built, not out of grand gestures, but out of small, authentic moments. It feels like taking off a heavy coat you didn't even realize you were wearing. There's a lightness to it, a freedom. Suddenly, your world starts to feel different. The focus shifts from quantity to quality. A quiet evening with one or two people, sharing stories and being yourselves, fills you up more than a dozen parties ever did. You find yourself declining invitations, not because you're antisocial, but because you're protecting your energy for the connections that truly nourish you. You're no longer collecting friends. You're cultivating friendships. It's a slower process. It requires more of you, more honesty, more vulnerability. But the return is immeasurable. The loneliness, that persistent ghost, starts to fade. It's not that you're never alone. You are. But the nature of your solitude has changed. It's no longer a void, but a peaceful space. A space for you to recharge before you go back out and build those tiny, strong bridges. You realize that true connection isn't about being the center of attention. It's about being seen, truly seen, by just one other person, and in turn, offering them the same gift. The party is still going on somewhere. The music is still thumping. But you're not there. You're here, in this quiet, authentic space you've built. And for the first time in a long time, you feel completely, wonderfully present. You feel at home. Thank you for being here and for listening. If this story resonated with you, consider subscribing and joining our community. There's more to explore together.